Alright, what's up guys? I'm gonna make a quick video reacting to this Tyrone versus Chad going around and asking women to rate them. It's an interesting one. One guy is black and then the other guy is a very good looking white guy. And apparently the white guy is actually Eastern European. I believe he's from Turkey. He's a tall, jack, good looking guy. And then the black guy is American, I believe. And he's also a good looking guy. He's tall, jacked, and he's a definition of Tyrone. And then the white guy, of course, is the definition of Chad. So let's see how the girls are gonna react and how they're gonna rate them. It will be interesting. Let's take a look.
Rate me and my friend here 1 through 10. We're trying to get some harsh criticism tonight.
A 10.
Okay.
A 10.
Wait. Yo, what's up, 80 team? We are back
That's what happens when you are a Chad.
downtown. Today I'm here with a special guest, Okan, aka Chad. You guys wanted another rate video, so that's what we're doing tonight. Rate us, this time Tyrone and Chad. Let's see what's gonna happen. Stay tuned, subscribe, let's get into it. How do you say handsome in Spanish? Hola, tu nombre es?
Stephanie Rivera.
¿De dónde eres?
He has a broken Spanish, but he's at least able to communicate. I remember during my time when I was traveling in South America, I didn't really speak the language, but I would just use a couple of words that I knew, and that was usually enough to get their number or go on the date. And I would use a Google Translate in case if you don't speak the same language, still there is a way.
Venezuela.
Venezuela, okay. So question for you. I know you don't speak a lot of English, but rate me and my friend 1 through 10. Just be honest. 1 through 10. 1 through 10.
10.
10?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, very.
And if you notice, the white guy actually is taller. He's about 3 inches taller than the black guy. However, it seems like they're both over 6 feet tall. So that means there is a threshold. If you are slightly taller than that, usually the dating game is more in your favor. It doesn't mean that if you're short you can get laid or you cannot date, but it just shows like even though they're like both fairly tall, the white guy is taller than the black guy, and they're still able to get the high rating from the decent looking girls at least.
Nice.
To those two? Both?
10. 10.
Okay, what would you rate yourself?
The result, me.
Yeah, what would you rate yourself? Yes? 9?
Yes.
Yes.
She's definitely not a 10. I mean, if you're objective, I would rate her maybe 7. If you like Spanish or Latinos, like if you're like 100% into Latinos, you could give her maybe as much as like 8, 8.5, but definitely not a 10.
I agree. 9 y
I disagree.
10. All right.
And the black guy definitely has game. Like as you see, he's definitely the one who initiated the conversation. So whoever approached first usually have the advantage. So if you're a guy who's maybe not as good looking as these people, so if you go out with your friends that are possibly better looking than you have to make sure that you are the one who opens, initiate the conversation and carry the conversation, because whoever opens the conversation usually in the girl's eyes, in their perspective, has the higher status. So just keep that in mind.
That's a 10.
She does have a great body, big ass, a little bit too thick, of course. I don't know if it's real or not, but the face isn't that great, and the body, I mean, the problem with this type of Latinos is that I don't know if it's a surgery or whatever it is, but if you look at her legs, like these type of girls, and even if you look at her arms, like if you get into a relationship or if you marry them, like they're literally one burrito away from, you know, getting fat, like getting chubby because of their genetics. It's not like Europeans that they can eat pretty much like decent food or normal food and keep the weight. So with this type of girls, that's one of the downsides. With the thick girls, like they usually tend to add on weight very quick if you don't continue with their diet and working out and all that. Just as a side note. and my personal experience.
Right there, guys. You're curious what a 10 is? There you go.
And again, she's not a 10. My opinion, she's a 7. And put in the comment below, what do you rate this girl, this Latino girl? I just want to know. I'm curious. Like, I would give her a 7, to be honest with you. 7, maybe 8, just because she's attractive, you know, attractive enough, but she's definitely not a 10. Let me know, what do you think?
So be completely honest with us. Rate me and my friend.
Look at her, the girl's body language, the tall black girl. She's already crossing her hands, crossing her arms, and she's in the defensive mode. So it's quite interesting.
1 through 10. Brutally honest.
Both 9.
Both 9?
Yep.
So you see
And she's probably a 5 or sub 5.
no difference between us. We're like equal attractiveness.
And the taller one, even though she might have a little bit of attitude, you're gonna see actually later on. I actually watched this part of the clip. She's higher. I would rate her higher than the one on the right, so maybe a 6.5 max.
Though we obviously look different.
Right.
Yeah. All right, what about you? Now be honest. We're looking for variety here. Trust me, we've heard all numbers. Our feelings won't be
You
heard.
smell good, so you're definitely. I'm gonna give you a 10 because you smell really, really good, and you look good. He's a 9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a
Yeah. I think this guy, honestly, is way better looking than this guy on the left. Not just because of the race and all that, just like if you look at the face, you know, like the way the hair is, like even the muscle wise, like he's bigger, he's 3 inch taller, so he's definitely better looking. But something you have to remember, in Western countries, like mostly America and Canada, if you're black, usually you're still able to match with a lot of girls, and girls, they see you as possibly attractive. But if you go to Europe, the story is totally different. If you're black and then you go to Europe, it can be difficult in certain countries, especially Eastern Europe. Some girls maybe they're willing to hook up with you, but I don't know if you want to call it racism or sexual or the race preference or whatever you want to call it, but they most girls, or even guys, like they tend to see the African Americans or black people in general as like lower status. Like it would be very, very difficult if you're a black guy going to Europe and start dating. You might get some in Western countries, like if you go, for example, to Denmark or certain places in the Western Europe, they might be more open, kind of like America. But if you go to Eastern Europe or even Central Europe, it will be quite harder if you're darker skin today. So just keep that in mind. This is in America. I believe it's in Miami, but it's totally different game when you go travel outside US.
attractive, but he probably don't smell as good as me.
I didn't smell him, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
But he's like a 9.
Would you say that you have a preference towards men, like in regards to like black, white, different races?
I don't have a preference.
She definitely does. Most girls, they do tell you like what is politically correct, especially black girls, but the truth is, yes, when it comes to like dating, some black girls, they do prefer white guys, but there are specific ones that they only go with the other black guy for a reason, and the reason is because they want their baby to be completely black. So for a long-term relationship, some girls, like African American girls, they do prefer black guys.
No preference?
And vice versa, of course.
Yeah, I don't really have a preference.
All right, Okan. So far, we're getting pretty good ratings, man. I don't know that I think beauty might be objective. Yeah, I think so too, man. Ladies, be as honest and objective and real as possible with.
One thing you have to remember is the other guy on the right, the Turkish guy, his English is not as good as the one on the left, the black guy, who's American, I believe. So that might be one of the reasons he's handling most of the conversations, and the other guy is just quiet standing there. So keep that in mind. It could be the language barrier.
With us, rate me and my friend 1 through 10. We're trying to get some harsh criticism tonight.
I don't rate people, so
You don't rate people? No, you see beauty in everybody.
everybody's got a type. Everybody's looking for something.
Okay,
You both are attractive guys, though. I'll give you that. Just a chance for a girl,
I understand. All right, I'm gonna take that as an 8+.
I guess. All right. So if we're talking attraction, I guess you guys are both like the 8 to 9. But let's say, honestly, if we're...
And she's probably 2 the most. 2 or maybe 3. Like some guys would still do her, but honestly, yeah, I don't know what kind of man would sleep with this type of creature. I don't know what to call this.
We're talking like fuckboy wise, because you can be attractive, but you can look like a fuckboy at the same time. Y'all are also on that 8 or 9 scale.
She actually has a point. Funny enough, I do agree with her point, because you could definitely be attractive, very good looking, tall and all that, but you could be absolutely an asshole, like personality wise. And so that's like one end. You could be very aggressive, very rude, and then the other side would be you may not be confident and you might be socially awkward, and that's also very unattractive. So it could actually work against you. So just by being good looking doesn't mean you will automatically attract all these girls. You might get attention, but if you don't have some basic game, if you don't understand some fundamentals, it will be very, very difficult. So personality, your social skills definitely play.
I'm gonna be honest.
We're on the 8 or 9 fuckboy level.
Absolutely beautiful men, but you're on the fuckboy level.
What makes us fuckboy level? Like, why? How come? Is it just the way we look? Like, what is it?
It's the charisma. It's the way you approach. It's the way that you just handle yourself in front of women specifically.
It's the confidence. Is that what you're saying?
Confidence with a little bit of cockiness in there.
Oh, okay.
It's a level of cockiness, you know, that a real woman can appreciate, but also recognize at the same.
Yes, if you're good looking, if you're Chad, Tyrone, whatever you want to call it, and if you know your value, and if you have dated a lot of women, you might come off as a little bit like a fuckboy or a player. It's normal, so it's nothing to be ashamed of. So you can ignore whatever she's saying here.
And I know you lost your voice, but if you had to put up a number in your hands between me and my friend. 7, okay. 9, okay. Awesome.
That's funny. She gives him a 7. And she herself, maybe a 7, 6, 7. But it's funny. And then it just shows like some girls are into certain races or certain types. So they go based off of that. It's not like necessarily objective. So even a good looking guy like on the right, the Chad guy, can get a rating as 7. So if you're average, imagine what you would get if you're an average white guy in her case. She would probably give you a 3 or 4. So don't be bothered if a girl gives you like a lower rating. Don't take it personally.
So I appreciate it. Fuckboy level, crazy high. It's a nice question. Be completely honest and objective, brutally honest if you can. Rate me and my friend here 1 through 10.
Okay, 8, 6.5.
Okay.
That's funny. So one thing you have to keep in mind is that I just mentioned earlier, when you go and approach and you're the one who carry the conversation, you tend to get more attraction. So the girls see you as a higher status, and if your friend is just standing there and doesn't do anything, so in this guy's case, I don't know if it's a language barrier or it's just the way everything is set up, but it definitely gives the edge to the guy on the left or the black guy. So that might be one of the reasons some of these girls are rating him a little bit lower than the guy on the left, the black guy. So
I have a boyfriend. I can't comment.
I understand.
But yes, she has good taste.
Okay. What makes him a 6.5 and what makes me an 8? What's the 2-point difference?
All right. So the shirt is really docking some points for me. You look clean, like you're edged up, like you look ready to go. So that's my 8.
Now we're asking women, do you have a preference like between dating white or black men?
No.
No?
Not at all.
So you've dated and been with both?
Yes.
Okay. And what about your boyfriend? Is he black?
yeah, so just to rate the girl on the right, I would call her undoable. So anything undoable is usually sub 5. So if you want to rate her 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter because she's not even doable. So, and the girl on the left, she could be doable. I haven't seen her full body, but at least she's not chubby. So
Black or white?
He's white, but I don't care.
Okay.
Whatever, right?
Respect. I don't know what's happening, Okan. You
Shirt was good.
you know what's funny about women is
he
that
doesn't speak English.
they'll
I thought he probably doesn't speak English, but apparently he does.
look at your face and then they'll look at everything else. So, and sometimes they do something called virtue signaling. So she might have actually just thought you weren't as attractive, but she'll blame your shirt instead of the real reason why.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's how they do, man. All right, so be completely honest and objective and brutal if you can, but rate me and my friend here 1 through 10. We're trying to get some harsh criticism tonight. Oh, don't be acting like that now.
I'll give you a 10. I'll give you a 10. A 10, yeah, I'll give you a 10.
Okay, what's on my friend?
That's a sympathy 10, so it's not the real one. The way she said like, oh yeah, I give you a 10, I give you a 10. Like she doesn't really want to share her opinion.
I don't like white chocolate, but
Okay.
I'll give you a 7. A 7.
So you don't like white chocolate, but you can appreciate he's still a handsome.
You're so handsome. Yeah.
All right, what about yourself?
I just remember one thing. So this guy is probably 6'2", 6'3", and he's very good looking. If this guy is getting 7 or 6.5, imagine like if I went to girls and asked them to rate me, what would I get? Like this is kind of funny. I see myself as probably like 7 or something, but I'm 5'8", so I'm way shorter than these guys. So I'm just curious, like what kind of rating I will get. And if they give me, for example, 3 or 4, and I'm sleeping with a lot of 8, 9s, or even 10s I've had in the past, like, so what does it say? Like, does it look really matter? Like, as long as you're above a certain level, like, if a girl gives you like a 3 or 4, and you're still able to pull a hot girl, like, you actually start questioning, like, does it even matter? Like, if a good-looking guy like this gets a 7, like, does it even matter?
Right now I'm gonna give you a 8 because of the fit.
I got my shirt in my hand, but it's all good.
Okay.
Be brutal. That's fine.
And you? She like, yeah, 7.
You, for example, rated me at 10. You feel like I have no improvements whatsoever I can work on?
Probably just the fit.
It's always a fit. It's always a style. But
Nice smile. Everything fits you, yeah.
all right, I'll work on my style. Me and Ocon work on our style. All right, now last.
And the girl on the left is probably a 5, like maybe a 6. The girl on the right, if she's not chubby, like I cannot really see her stomach because she's wearing a loose kind of shirt, but she could be a 6, 5. Say maybe 7. I mean, depends what your type is, but they're not necessarily the best looking girls, but they're okay.
Last question. What would you rate yourself?
A 6.
Okay, that's
Okay.
a very humble answer from you. Wow.
I'm not gonna rate myself a 10. 'Cause
You will be surprised. I mean,
No, she was actually quite accurate. I'll give her 6.
I would rate myself overall, like everything,
physically.
physically, 7, 8.
Really? Okay.
8.
No, I'm just.
Definitely not 8, but I don't know, 6, maybe 7 most if you're very generous.
Curious. I'm just curious.
Yeah, 8.
So that girl was actually looking at myself before. That's why I said don't start acting crazy now, because her friends told me to approach her because she was staring. So Ocon, man, we got to get.
No luck today, bro. Yeah.
Hey, different strokes, different folks.
If you're enjoying this content, you're going to be mind blown by my Patreon. As a supporter,
Alright, that's it. And so I just wanted to show you this video so you guys can see, like, look is not everything. Like, yes, these guys are very, very good looking, and still some of these girls, they rate them like in the average range, which shows like even if you're the best looking guy, it may not matter as much. Like, if you approach a girl and then you come as a little bit douchey, or you don't handle the conversation correctly, the girl can still see you as average, or maybe 6 or 7 at most if you're very good looking. And on the other hand, if you're not very good looking, and if you're not tall or jacked or anything like that, but if you carry yourself with confidence, you know how to handle conversations, you have social skills, you might be able to level yourself up to the point that a girl sees you overall as a 9 perhaps. Like, not physically, but if you put everything together based on your character, the way you treat her, the way you handle everything, you could come off as way more attractive than the guy who's a stranger and is just tall and good looking. So that's why I just wanted to show you this video. Hope you liked it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.